What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Stat Sheets. Of course, I'm your boy Alex with my guy Najee. And today we're going to be talking about some of our pretenders and contenders from the NBA. So we're a couple weeks into the season. The in-season tournament is live and well. We're starting to see what teams are, making some good moves this season, playing well, and what teams aren't. But then there's also the teams that are fake playing good. So that's why we're going to debate on who we have as a pretender and who we have as a contender. And Najee, who you got on your list over there?
Ooh, man, it's been very good so far in this NBA season. A lot of surprises, um, and a lot of guys disappointed me. But I'm gonna start off with the pretenders, and I'm gonna start off with the honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are Lakers
Okay.
and James Harden.
Just James Harden?
Just James Harden, not the Clippers. James Harden. Just he thinks he's worth more than what he actually is, right? And then the Lakers, they do the same thing dance every year. So I have a lot of people buy into it because they're LA, LeBron, AD. The answer is no. But the real pretenders, in my mind, and I've been saying it since before season even started, had to be the Phoenix Suns. And yeah, you could say they're missing, Bradley Bill's out, they need Book out. They've had one or two start every game. And they've lost twice to the Lakers, the other pretenders I named. They lost back-to-back games to the San Antonio Spurs. Who do they really have? Wembanyama, okay. What else? Now you can say Keldon, you can say Vassell, you can say Trey Jones. That's not enough to be the Suns team. You fired your head coach, you gave up Chris Paul, you kept Devin Booker, right? I mean, none of you gave up DA. I don't like Nurkic. Nurkic is probably the best piece on that team right now, but none of it is looking good to me. And then the Bulls took you to OT. The Bulls played terrible that game. Bulls, it was hard for them to get shots off. The defense was lackluster. The court vision looks mediocre at best. And you went to overtime, right? To me, it looked terrible. One thing that I would like to say about the Phoenix Suns is they are good at rebounding the ball, and they also good at shot blocking. But to me, that's the only thing they're good at. Everything else is either middle of the pack or lower. They have to do better as a team, come together, and there's nothing they can do. I just think that I didn't think it was going to work from the beginning. I'm trying to find ways that it could work. I don't think it'll work. But that being said, let's get straight to my contenders. Honorable mentions. Alex doesn't agree. Pacers. I think everybody needs to prove on something, right? They need to prove on their defense, but that'll be for another day. And then, of course, Boston Celtics. Those guys are star-studded. But I went with OKC. Didn't want to go with the obvious. OKC are great. I mean, they're efficient. They can score the ball. They play great defense. The only thing I would have to say is that they have to improve on the rebounds, right? They don't really have a big besides Chet. But once you improve on those rebounds, what's gonna happen? You're gonna pass the ball. You're gonna keep outlet passing it. Those assists are gonna get better because they already passed the ball. It's just those little assists that they miss, right? They can do better. And once you improve on your rebounds and you're passing the ball to me, you're playmaking, this team becomes better. This is still a young team, and to me, they're contending now, right? I feel like they could surprise some people. They're not going to win a championship, no. But next year they probably could. Chet has to bulk up. You have to get some more bigs to help rebound and some guys willing to pass that ball, just kind of fix the system a little bit. But this team is sixth in points per game. This team is fifth in blocks per game. They're first in free throw percentage, fourth in 3-point percent, and fourth in field goal percentage, right? I mean, they've got them at 7 3-point, but I mean, they're off by like 0.34. So I just go ahead and mark those boys up. It isn't much major, but I mean, this team can score the ball with the best. They can defend with some of the best. It's just the rebounds and the playmaking that could be an issue. But this team is set for the future, and this is the future dynasty in the making. So contenders, OKC, pretenders, James Harden, and the Phoenix Suns.
Hey, I like it. I like the Thunder, one of the more fun teams to watch in the NBA. Let me go to my contenders, man. I didn't want to pick such an obvious choice, but man, it's hard hard to pass up. I would say my honorable mention for contenders would be, you got the obvious choices like the Celtics. I think the Mavericks are also a very strong contender. I didn't want to pick them though. I picked the 76ers. I think this could be their year that they finally take it to the top because we know they can make it there, get close. They never finish the job, right? I think this could be their year. They got rid of James Harden. Tyrese Maxey's taking over. Joel Embiid is putting up another MVP caliber season, nearly 30-10 every game. Maxey's shooting at 50%, 43 from three, 93 from the line. Those are great numbers, right? They got the third most points per game. They give up the eighth fewest points per game. Third most rebounds. They already playing a pretty weak East, right? And they're second in point differential. So they got what it takes, right? I'd say the only thing hurting them is they lack a little bit of depth. I know they got Tobias Harris. It's like their third guy. I know, unfortunately, Kelly Oubre is going to be out for who knows how long. That's a bit unfortunate. But, you got Pat Bev coming off the bench. He's going to bring the defense, and that's huge to have, right? They already handled Boston once this year. Already won an advantage, okay? Their only loss is a 1-point loss on their opening game to the Bucks. And, I feel like right now they're built to win a championship. I think they can do it. I think they could finally. I think they just have to make it out the East. I think if they can make out the East, they can win it. And they've already shown they could beat Boston. Now they got to do it in a series, right? And the same goes for the Bucks, possibly. But that's my contender. Give me the Sixers. I think this could be their year. Embiid and Maxey. I like the duo. Let me go over to my pretender, man. You already kind of hinted at it, saying you had the Pacers as a contender. I just don't buy it, man. They're looking good to start the season, right? They're like third or fourth in the East right now. They can score with the best of them, but they cannot play defense. They're giving up the second most points per game. They just gave up 155 to Boston. They had Tyrese Maxey just scored 50 on them. Giannis scored 54. Donovan Mitchell scored 38. They even have Jordan Clarkson score a season high 33 on them. I mean, I know I just named a lot of stars, but Jordan Clarkson 33 on them. That's crazy. They're bottom 10 in rebounds per game. They're the second fewest steals. Miles Turner's their leading rebounder at just under 8 a game. They don't play defense. And I got some crazy numbers here that I just had to research. They have a lot of liabilities in their starting lineup. Obi Toppin has a 120.5 defensive rating. That's eighth worst. Bruce Brown, 120.8. That's sixth worst. Tyrese Halliburton, 121.1. That's the fourth worst in the league. And then Benedict Mathurin is 121.5. That's the third worst. I mean, I just named four of their. Well, I don't know. Does Mathurin start or is he a role player?
He's they kind of alternate depending on
Yeah.
who's in.
Anyways, that's four players that are the top 10 worst in defensive rating. And I like Jalen Smith coming off the bench. He's solid. But I think they're a bit too small. Outside of Miles Turner, the rest of the team is about 6'9" and shorter. I just don't think they play enough defense. They don't get enough boards. And they're playing in the East. They're going to look good now, but come playoff time, they're going to get outmatched eventually. And I don't think they're going to contend. I don't think they're built for a championship. I like Halliburton. I think they can really score. They've shown they can score, but can they stop other teams from scoring? I don't think so. So, the Indiana Pacers are my pretenders.
That's the NBA though, man. Guys are on to score the ball. I think they're kind of making it to where it's a score heavy league. You said Giannis, Donovan Mitchell, Tyrese Maxey. Those guys are stars. You said Jordan Clarkson. Well, the only thing Jordan Clarkson is good for is getting a bucket.
Yeah.
You know, but you do also make valid points when you bring up the starting lineup and when Benedict Mathurin is in the starting lineup, will be top, and then those guys and what are they doing defensively? Rebounding the ball. What is my son is your best rebounder and just a shade of under 8. It is kind of embarrassing for those guys to know that you can score the best, but you can't stop the best. But that's where those adjustments come into play. I like how you did two East teams and I did two West teams though. I didn't. I
Yeah,
was
that worked well. That worked well.
yeah, it did. So, but I do like your picks. I was intrigued by them. I was kind of upset that you didn't say James Harden for
Yeah.
being a contender.
Well, there's another pretender I thought about. I was gonna say the Houston Rockets. I mean, I don't think they're they're near contenders either. So,
Uh,
I mean, they're having a good year. I think well, they're on like a 6-game win streak after starting like 0-3. I mean, good for them, but I don't like Dylan Brooks, and I don't think he's leading them anywhere. Uh,
I'm a Brooks fan. He's not the leader over there though by any means. Fred VanVleet's the best player on that team.
yeah,
Jalen Green is he's mentoring Jalen Green. Dylan Brooks is a great two-way player. Jabari Smith Jr. good two-way player. Sengun, they just beat the Nuggets. They just beat the Nuggets.
Sengun, he's a dog, man. He's a
Dude,
dog.
they're on a 6-game win streak. They beat the Nuggets, the Pelicans, the Lakers, and the Kings twice. And so I'm just throwing that out there that these guys that they're good. But I do agree with you when you call them pretenders, and not to mention that when you beat the Pelicans are kind of all over the place right now. They were 4-1, I had about 5 or 6 straight. So,
Yeah.
anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to this episode of the Stat Sheet. Until next time, we out.